A lot of people don't realize how good the Berserker is for a 2 Elixir card, especially compared to the other 2 Elixir cards in the game. As you guys can see, in the top 200, there's 35 people using the Berserker. She's currently 1st in the world, 3rd in the world, 4th in the world, 7th, and 8th. So several people using her inside of the top 10, and then in the top 200, she's being used in a variety of decks. Not just Cycle, but also Control decks, Bridge Spam decks, and even beatdown decks. And if you compare her to other things, for example, the Ice Golem, which recently got buffed, and most people would agree it's a very good card after the buff, as you guys can see, about half of the people using it, only 17 inside of the top 200. And then it gets even crazier if you compare it to things like the Goblins, which is why in today's video, I wanted to play the Berserker in a couple decks and show you guys why she is actually so solid inside of the game. In drill decks especially, she pairs very well in, but then I want to also run her inside of a graveyard deck. And I know there's been a lot of Berserker memes recently, or people talking about the Berserker, making jokes, saying like, you know, there's a Ken Berserker hut, which basically spawns Berserkers, or the Berserker is Gratz's girlfriend. Whatever the case is, whatever people are saying, she is actually, all jokes aside, a very solid card inside of the game, and people have really started to realize that recently. Now, this guy's got a Fireball and a Log. Maybe he's running Expo, if I had to guess, or he could have something else. I don't know. He's got the guards, really nice snowball over there. That actually basically, we just got the lead off of that, even though he got some damage from the spell, so that's really nice. But anyway, a lot of people thought that the Berserker had to be used with the Rune Giant originally, so you're getting that extra DPS because she attacks so quickly, but people have basically realized that she's pretty much good without the Rune Giant now, especially because the Rune Giant's absolutely dead. So basically every Berserker deck doesn't have Rune Giant, and I think even before the buff, she was just kind of underrated, in all honesty. Really nice queen there, because I knew he was going to, okay, nice. We cycle back to another cannon. The beauty of this deck is because of how, it cycles so fast, this deck. It's kind of crazy. And RG doesn't get a single shot, courtesy of the Berserker just DPSing it down so quick. So I would say okay start to this game, especially because we know what he's using, so he's not going to have that surprise factor anymore. The Monk is going to be very annoying, though, so we got to be smart working around that. I think we can do it, though. I'm going to go in for a Drill, and then also go for a Fire Spirit here. It forces a Fisherman out of him, which is kind of crazy. Look at how much damage we got there. That's really nice. We probably just want to snowball this, I would say, and then maybe we could actually log this, and that should be enough, I think. Yeah, that's pretty solid over there. Pretty happy with that. And I'd say let's just cycle a queen in the back. He is going to go in for a Monk, which is going to be pretty annoying. I think, though, we should probably pressure the other lane, and we have the Evo snowball, so we could actually get a lot of damage from this potentially if things go pretty well. He's gonna go in for, okay, let's see, let's get a cannon going over here, and I'm hoping the Monk doesn't end up reflecting that. Yeah, it shouldn't. So really solid defense over there, and as you can see, going other lane was a really good play because we were able to get more damage than he got in the left lane, and you want to play opposite lane of your opponent in this matchup for sure. You never really want to play into the RG player with your drills if you can avoid it. I mean, sometimes you can't avoid it, or you've simply just gotten way too much damage, if that makes sense. We could actually pressure with the queen here at the bridge. The idea of it is to kind of try to force his Monk out of him, because it's basically like an even trade, and then, you know, he uses the ability, and he's kind of panicking a bit. Like, I mean, he just spent a lot of elixir there, so I'm overall pretty content with that. Let's just go in for a snowball here. I would not be surprised if he RGs in the right. Yeah, he actually does, which I do think is a pretty good play by him. But I think if we just get our, okay, nice, that all died. I was going to say, if we get the Evo Cannon, we're probably completely fine. And as you can see, Monk does go down, so really solid stuff over there. I think we could actually go in for a Goblin Drill here, and then we have our Evo Snowball in cycle, which is going to throw that Hunter backwards, and even with him going in for a Log and a Guards, we still get a really solid amount of damage there. We can go Archer Queen in the back, and then probably just get a Berserker going on top of the Fisherman, which should be solid. He is going to Monk, so we got to watch out for that. We could actually Cannon and then try to pull the Monk away, if possible, but unfortunately he, let's see, he was able to get the ability off, but a little bit of damage. I got a little nervous there. You can see I stopped talking. That's how you know I got nervous. But we got a little bit of... He got like a little bit of damage, but we're still in a really good spot, is what, yeah, I was going to say. So we're kind of looking okay, I would say, overall. He is going to go for another RG. He actually pops the monk ability, but look at that. We got the other cannon down. And, oh shoot, the RG bypassed the cannon, but we got the Evo Snowball. Nice. We throw the RG backwards. Really good stuff over there. And we can go ahead and pop the Archer Queen ability again. Drill's coming in as well. Guards come out from him, but I think we pretty much got this on lock here, unless something crazy happens. So, let's see. He's probably gonna... Okay, we just get guards going here, and the Monk Reflection is a little bit annoying, but Berserker's coming in, and I don't think there's any way that RG is gonna... Oh my gosh, it got a little too close for comfort, but we got the win, so really solid stuff over there, game one, and as you guys can see, Berserker, it's not like... I don't think she necessarily needs a nerf. It's not like she's an oppressive card, but just you can see the utility of it, right, on defense, but then also on offense. It's just really solid for the counter pushes. And the second Berserker deck I wanted to play is actually inside of this graveyard deck you see here. So it's kind of a completely different deck. It's more of a control deck or even a beatdown deck. It's really fun to play, though, especially with the Gob Curse. It's, I feel like, pretty unexpected. The amount of interactions that are different because of the Goblin Curse is actually crazy. Like, did you guys know it makes the Giant Skeleton Bomb deal 20% more damage? So if you somehow get it to reach the tower, it's just getting a lot more value, or even on multiple units. Just things like that you wouldn't expect, but it, like, really makes a big difference. So we could actually go in for a Graveyard here, just because, I mean, it's a bit aggressive, but I think it's honestly a pretty decent play, especially because, depending on the deck he's running here, he might not have a lot of drill counters, and as you guys can see, amazing start to this match. That's kind of exactly what I was talking about. He is going to go in for a drill here, but I think we're probably okay, especially because of the Witch, as well as the Cannoneer, which is pretty clutch, especially against the Knight. And as you can see, we defend really, really nicely, despite us being a little bit aggressive, and we're already off to a really nice start in this match. Spear Gobs come out from him and the Berserker. We could get a nice Giant Skeleton here, potentially, or actually the Hut is probably a little bit better, just because I think it's a bit cheaper, and I think it's a bit better in this scenario. I don't want to overspend with a Giant Skeleton. I'd rather set it up from the back, and we force a cannon out of him, so that's really good. I'm kind of glad I went in for the Hut. I think it was definitely the more valuable play. If he goes other lane with a drill, it might honestly be game. I'm not joking, because I don't know how he's going to be able to... Yeah, that was honestly a very bad play by him. I think, okay, he's not going to be able to defend, I don't think. If he defends this, I don't know what to say. I don't think he's going to be able to. And, like, even if he does, he's not, like, it's basically... Yeah, like, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I feel like there's not much he can do. This is, like, I think a pretty easy matchup for us. That's kind of why at the beginning he was doing that emote. I could tell he was frustrated. But anyway, here we just set up the Hut, and he might go in for, yeah, drill. He's probably going to have that snowball, but it's not really going to matter because you saw we snuck in that bomber behind, and that is going to be GG. So definitely another, you know, nice win here. This one was especially, I feel like, really, really easy. We could just go in for a graveyard, get the curse going. And sometimes even the curse just with the graveyard can be really solid because it's like making the skeletons deal more damage. So if there's like a bunch of them together, it really adds up. But yeah, unless he somehow gets our whole tower here, this is basically a wrap. He doesn't have the Evo Snowball in hand, so that's game. So there you guys have it. Berserker, definitely a very good card. Might even be top 10 in the game. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe. Creator code BOSS to support me. And thanks again until next time, guys.